Well, hey, it's Kristen, and this is your Monday Growth Moment, a short reflection about doing the hard things that help us grow. Let's get into it. Today's moment is about how life just happens. So, yeah, sorry about that 2 week unplanned, unexpected absence. Nothing bad happened. It was actually all good things. Unfortunately, this podcast is not, as much as I love it, it's not any source of income at all. It's a fun project on the side. And I had a very, very busy week 2 weeks ago in preparation for going on vacation for a week to step away. So I had a plan. I even had an episode recorded. It turned out horribly. We just had to let it go. So yeah, here we go. So let's do like a 3 week-ish brain dump. Buckle up, Buttercup, because I haven't had enough coffee. So this might get interesting. A couple weeks ago, I had a 14-mile run, and that was the first time of this season that I got to go back and run with my run club. I love run club, my run club. I actually don't know anyone personally. I just found the club and started going, and I've gotten to know a handful of people there, mostly through social media. But I just love my run club. It is the most welcoming and inclusive place that I really feel like I've ever been. There are some run clubs that are really based on pace and all of that, and I love that for people. This run club, they kind of do 2 different training cycles, a spring and a fall, with a training plan and planned distances for people wanting to do a half marathon and a full marathon. And what's great is that they will provide the routes that we're going to run, and they'll have a few water stops and they'll map out the route, and we all just get to go at our own pace, which I just love because there are people there who are training to walk a half marathon, and there are people there who are going to race a full marathon and probably be done, when I'm halfway through mine because I am slow. But I love Run Club. And that run a couple weeks ago, the first 7 miles were pretty good. We were in a new place and it was so pretty and it was nice and cool. The sun wasn't out, it was feeling good. And it was a nearby lake. And we had some hills on one side, and then it was an out and back one way, and then it was an out and back in another way. And at that point, the terrible Oklahoma sun and humidity came out, and a part of the trails where these hills were just brutal, and it was so hot, and there was no shade, and I slowed down so much. That was miserable. I was cussing out the hills, I was being quiet as people were passing me, and I was just having a rough time. And at one point, my knee kind of locked up and I couldn't fully bend it. And this is when I'm 2 miles away from my car. There's no getting back quickly at all. There's no calling anyone to help me because, again, I don't know anyone. And fun fact, I'm the slowest person at Run Club. I am the back of the pack. So it's rarely is there anyone behind me, especially once there's more half marathon people. Once they've finished their distance, there's no one behind me. I'm the last one, which is fine. But usually there's no one. So I'm oh my gosh, I'm 2 miles from my car. I'm straight leg swinging, walking because I can't bend that sucker. And I'm this is horrible. This is 2 miles away. I was already nervous to get to this distance because the last training cycle, I was getting a lot of knee and leg pain once I would hit 13 miles. And I was just really worried I was going to have that again. And so I'm this is horrible. And then God bless this man. There were a few people who were behind me because they were having rough days too, where his knee was hurting him. And so he slowed down to talk to me, and we walked and then ran the last 2 miles. And that was just such a gift. Get this. This guy, I didn't ask his age. He has got to be 60s, right? He has run 88 marathons. 88. He's run in all 50 states, a marathon in all 50 states. And then he has run a marathon on every continent, including Antarctica. And getting to talk to him was just so fascinating. And then when he wanted to run, he was just smoking me. He was so nice. I was holding him back because I just couldn't go that fast. But I was just so lovely. So grateful. My knee eventually kind of loosened up and I was able to finish. But that run sucked. and I was miserable and so tired. And then I had a really busy week in preparation to go on vacation. And I decided that I was going to take a break from my training plan for the week. I was still going to get some runs in, but I wasn't going to do the prescribed runs because that was going to mean that I would miss out on a lot of family time and a lot of time missing out on eating at delicious breakfast restaurants. Most people don't know, unless you really know me, my love of breakfast food. I'm the connoisseur of French toast and biscuits and gravy. Let me tell you, someone's mama's recipe that they say is like the best biscuit recipe, let me be the decider of that. I'm also not supposed to eat gluten or dairy. It messes with my stomach and body, but you know what? Life's too short to skip out on biscuits and gravy. Okay, I'll take it. So I just decided that I was going to enjoy running. I got to do a bucket list item. Okay, I got to go trail running in a national park. It was beautiful. It was like actual mountains. Oklahoma doesn't have real mountains. I'm from Colorado. Okay, Oklahoma doesn't have real mountains. These were real mountains. It was beautiful. If I was eaten by a bear on this run, as long as they stopped my Strava and like saved it so people could see I was running, I'd be fine with that. But I loved it, and I got to chat with my friend the whole time, and it was just lovely. And I just didn't care because, while this marathon is important, 10 years down the road, I'm not going to be upset that maybe my marathon was a little slower, right? That maybe my training took a smidge of a hit. This will be the last week I take off because that wasn't the smartest. But I'm not going to be upset that my training took a little bit of a hit. I would have been more upset that I wasn't there to go do, some of the touristy adventures and family time and all of that. That is what matters to me. So I just said, you know what? We're going to be flexible. We're going to enjoy this. I'll hit the ground running when I get back. Sure enough, we did. Got in on a Friday evening, and then I was up the next morning this past Saturday running 14 miles again at a different place. Let me tell you, I went into this run not thrilled at all. Based on the last one, I was dreading it. And if running has really taught me something, it's that you cannot always trust your feelings. Feelings are not facts. Feelings are information. And I was judging this run based on the last one, and I was dreading it, and it actually went pretty well. I was able to keep most of the pace that I wanted with a lot of walking, but it was so good. It was good to be back. I'm at the part of training where I'm constantly tired and I'm constantly hungry. At any given point, you could be like, Kristen, would you like a breakfast sandwich? Yes. Yes, I would. Kristen, would you like I've been thinking about this for weeks. I just need to go get one. A like deluxe loaded baked potato from this like local barbecue restaurant that has like brisket in it and then like a rib on top. Absolutely. It could be 8 a.m. I would love that. At any given time, I could eat a full meal and I could take a nap because the mileage is just going to go up. I've got 16-mile run, 18, and then I'll peak at 20, and then 16 will taper down to 10, and then I have my marathon. It's in 6 weeks, y'all. Can't believe that. So yeah, life happens. I didn't want to have that break from the podcast. I thought about it and I felt so guilty, but every time I thought about recording, it was at an inconvenient time. And so yeah, life just happens, and that's okay. We're flexible, we pivot, we figure it out, and we just keep going, right? Because forward is a pace. I don't know overall what the lesson is. I guess just it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to slow things down, and it's okay to shuffle the priorities list for a minute. Marathon training is very important to me, but it's not more important than quality family time on vacation. So yeah. So whatever your hard thing is this week, I'm rooting for you, and I hope that your priorities list is based on what's going to matter, not just 2 months from now, but what's going to matter a year from now, 5 years from now. All right, I'll see you next Monday.